Ladies and gentlemen, your Miami Hurricanes are 7-0. They survived and they picked up a 52-45 victory in Louisville. This is
the recap show. It's the recap show. Toast, how you feeling?
I am drunk, bro.
Oh, God.
I am standing in an alley on some street in Louisville, and I just did a shot, a $125 shot of 1 ounce bourbon that's like 175 years old, and I am drunk.
You remember?
See,
this
now
shot.
let me
Was it good?
ask you a serious question.
Yes.
Wouldn't you have preferred to taken that shot like much earlier, so where you could have tasted it and enjoyed it?
So the option to take this shot. So in order to get a shot like this, you can't just go into any bar in Louisville. You need to go into a special bar that has allocated bottles that have been distributed by the distilleries that you can't buy at the open market. And that's how you get the shots.
Okay.
So, Toast, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What tasted better, that $125 whiskey shot or the victory at Louisville Stadium where you were in Miami Hurricanes winning to go 7-0?
Bro, the victory, and we almost got into a fight.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is not good.
So here's what happened. Everything was going fine. We were getting along with the Louisville fans in the upper 300 section. And then all of a sudden, we scored a touchdown to open the third quarter. And then all hell broke loose. And we gave up a touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and then a fumble for a touchdown. And all of a sudden, it was tied with about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And shit started getting hairy upstairs.
Well, it's better
than downstairs. That's right.
Complimentary to each other. Fans that were very nice to each other began to be assholes to each other.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So not even an amicable divorce. Well, for the
No,
fans
but
that were
guess
still
what?
there
Guess
because
what?
they all left.
But they left,
Somebody
though.
is 7-0 and somebody is 4-3 and sucks to be fucking you. Thanks for the cocktails.
Did they buy your cocktails?
Someone just bought my $125 shot cocktail.
Oh, you didn't even
nice.
pay for that.
Hell fucking no.
Good for you.
Oh, boy.
All
Good
right.
for you. That's the
So here's
radio.
the
That's the
thing. So here's
radio
the
in your
thing.
blood.
So if you come to Louisville, there is a place called Bottle Shop and TastingRoom.com. These guys own all of the primo liquor shops in Fort Lauderdale, Miami-Dade. And so if you come in here and you tell them that you're a cane from South Florida, you are a fucking king and they take care of you.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Next time we'll go on a road trip, OBD road trip. We'll rent the Bago.
A Rent-a-Bago?
Rent-a-Bago in a
We're
Winnebago.
We're going to get a Rent-a-Bago.
And we'll
And we're
like
the
do the
sober
live
ones.
shows.
Yeah.
We're the sober ones. I'm just dyslexic. You guys know this.
Hey, just so you guys know, OBB road trips are now 1-0.
Oh,
Hey, very nice.
So
and
who-
you know
who
what
is-
that also means, but it's your OBB road trips, which means you have to be the one to go.
yeah.
That's
Scoop and
fine.
Scoop and I
We've
have
already
went.
decided what game we're going to do next year.
Yeah, we've been. Actually, we went to a Louisville game. Didn't end up well.
Dude, I'll tell you what, this is a fun city, a nice stadium. If you want to come up here, tons of stuff to do. But next year, we're going to do the OBB Triple B for the SMU game in Dallas.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh.
one.
Go Ponies.
Yeah.
Who's
pony
all
up.
with you?
I've got OBB Bob, Jimbo. Dude, we got like 8 people. Caniacs is with us. Like
Where
they're
are
all
they?
inside. They're all inside this this
Well,
tasting
go-
room here, and I'm
Go
outside.
bring them out. Or go in there. Say hello to everybody. Let's
All right,
do.
Let me get buzzed. Hold on, let me get buzzed in. I'm getting buzzed in. Hang on. All right. There's a lot of people in here, man.
Oh, I
By-
need
by the way-
some reaction. I need the guys to give us some show. Yeah, let's go already. Let's go,
Here's
Canes.
Jimbo.
See, here we go. Let's go.
Pull in.
Let's go.
Caniac.
Let's go. Look, here we
Some
go.
wannabe Cane fan. Oh, little Ohio State fan there. That's not nice.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Oh no. Yeah.
I do appreciate that the drunker Toast gets, the closer his face gets to the camera.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. I'm fascinated.
It
by
is
this.
kind of fascinating. It's like a novelty right now.
It's that
There's
one
a
guy.
cane right there. There's a cane right there. There we go. Cane.
Oh, that's a chief.
It
Did he
is a
just-
chief.
We got canes all over the place.
Yeah. We traveled well, huh?
All right, so let's have
Yeah.
a serious conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yes.
why does our defense suck?
Well, you gave me a list and a question, and I just want you to know that student of the game, I literally went from the recap show, and I literally went right over to student of the game. Student of the game is now live on our OBB channel. And I specifically watched what you asked me to watch is when the defense goes against motions, kind of isolates some guys. And there's just so many different factors where it's bad. But I'll leave it at this. You want to see the drastic difference between the offense and the defense? I'll make it as simple as possible.
Is that your stomach or is that a Mustang out there?
Yeah, that's a car. But
I'm
serious
sorry, I'm
talk.
being myself.
Oh, okay. Serious talk, though, you want to know the difference between the offense and defense and what's going on? All you got to do is look at respective number 7s. That's all you got to do. Watch a number 7 on offense and watch a number 7 on defense, and that will tell you everything you need to know.
I did have a conversation earlier today. I text somebody and I said, yeah, look, I'm going to need you to play safety. He said, I can do that.
It's toast, Scoop, Jenners, and like I said, I just watched that film, and for the first time, I listen, I remember when we had a freshman left tackle at University of Florida, we gave up 11 sacks that day, 11 sacks, and the film would find that particular left tackle because he started way too early, and I haven't had film, I don't even think your rivals to that, where I literally put it on. Right. And remember last week, I warned us about the running back. Did I not? I said in a land full of pigeons, he's a peacock, and he blasted off that run. I was scared there. But for us on the other side of the ball, I'm just like, oh, my goodness, we're in a land of pigeons. And we got one that's like hopping around with just like one like little gimpy leg. And it's just they find that dude religiously. And then when he's not filling gas, and I'm going to be honest, like, we're kind of built like a Nick Saban team at the linebacker position, at the Mike linebacker position. That was like when we had the Devontae Hightower guys of the world that were like 235, 245, and then they got lighter and faster. I don't think we're light and fast at that position, and I just see us getting exposed. And I don't know. I want to tell you it's kind of personnel based right now for me, and it's hard to say that because you know me over the years. It's personnel based, boys. There's some huge personnel issues on that side of the ball. It just is. There's nothing else you could say about it. And we knew what group it was going to be coming in.
Yeah, look, I mean, I would believe the consensus should be or would be or could be that 20 needs to play a lot more than he's playing. I think that Zay has shown the ability to be consistent. That defense just seems to play better with him in the game. And it takes a lot of time. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks, right? I mean, we're week 7 now. So week 8, week 9. Can we start to get him more, the predominant of those snaps? Because you're going to need them. Because we keep saying it. The offense can't keep this pace. They can keep the pace up, but you can't count on them. You're not going to be able to count on them every drive. You almost have to count on them to score every drive, and it's becoming ridiculous.
It's fool's gold. You're 7-0. That's extremely impressive. We should be riding high right now, but again, it's the parallel 7 universes. It's just and then on top of the fact, I was like, boy, I'm so bipolar this week on this student of the game. I'm so excited when I watch the offense play, and this is my face for those watching on YouTube. I'm like, look at this play. This is amazing. And then it goes to the defensive side of the ball. I'm like,
Well, let me ask you guys this. Are we we're 7 games in. We're over halfway through the season. Is this just a team where when we look back on this 5-10 years from now, this was a team where Cam has to bail you out of every game? Like if you don't have the ball last, we're not going to win the game. I mean, is there a chance that that's just what this team is? We're asking for the defense to step up and improve, but we're over halfway through the season. I mean, is this what they are? Like, unless Cam and the offense can outscore you, then we're going to have a problem. But as long as that's the case, we're good.
Well, yeah. Not to be too simple, but that's usually how it works when the offense scores more than the other team. But I understand the point. But I understand the point. Look, the defense has not gotten better.
Right.
The defense has not gotten better. Now, did did this defense hold Louisville to under their season average? They did, technically.
They scored 45 points.
But they score 38 a game. So
and
one of them
it
was
came
off
on special teams, which we'll talk about.
One of them was off of special teams, and the
And a
other
short
one was
field.
off a fumble, which they had a short field. So, they held them to their average, call it, right? So as bad as we thought we played on defense, Louisville played worse. Their
defense was horrible.
Which is tough to do. I mean, but up and down and up and down and up and down the field, Miami's offense is prolific. As we've mentioned at Rosebright, it's a national championship caliber offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure when we're going to see it again. That's the part that bothers me, because there's no, it's okay. We're getting some studs on defense. We're going to get, we got some safeties coming in, whatever it may be, but our offense is going to be a juggernaut again. We don't know that. We don't know that at all. Next year's offense looks light years different than it does right now. And this may be it. This may be our lightning in a bottle opportunity, to be quite honest with you, because next year doesn't look this way.
That's what Cam Ward does, Toast. That's what he does. You're right. If so many hypotheticals, but you'd like to think if Cam Ward, if Reese Poffenberger was the only person that we got and Cam Ward doesn't change his decision, because remember, we were supposed to get him. He said he was going to declare for the NFL. He came back, which was going to be the best decision he ever made in his career, coming back to the University of Miami. But
what's our record?
I agree.
What's our record then?
But I want everybody to know, okay, in what Scoop just said, because it could be a lightning in the bottle, and I didn't want to speak on it because I just want to enjoy the moment now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like your high school, summer fling, right? The winter's coming. Winter's coming. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to enjoy the moment. I want to enjoy the summer. But I agree. I think it's going to look drastically different next year. And I don't want to think past this year, because I'm like, you have the opportunity. So now I've taken on this tone, and you're going to, well, man, Ro, you're calling out this player on defense. You're calling this because I'm like, yeah, because you don't understand what you have in front of you. You don't know how special you have it on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what else we can tell you. Defensive side of the ball, those coaches, you're going to waste a prime opportunity. You have to figure out the personnel side. You got to try to get them to think a step faster. The shit that they're putting on film. And I'm just an amateur guy looking at this stuff. But since the beginning, the first half against USF, we didn't look particularly well. They shut it down in the second half. But since that moment, that half was atrocious, the first half. And then you're going to go ahead and have 3 conference games in a row where your defense is a complete sieve. And it's exposed. And it's bad. And it's just not getting any better. And you're literally looking at a Lamborghini on the offensive side of the ball. And let's just put a Grateful Dead sticker on it, because that's what you're doing. You're taking that kind of a product and you're just saying, let's just F it up. Don't like it. Don't like it.
I mean, listen, dude, you're 7-0. You don't want to dismiss that.
Mm-mm.
And, listen, there's times when you have a team that does great and you know that they're just offensively dependent. And it looks like maybe that's just what this team is. And maybe if you're a fan and you're expecting that this defense is going to step up, that's going to drive you crazy, because that's just not realistic. You need to count on Cam Ward stepping up and delivering for you every week, as he has thus far, and not failing. And I know that's a scary proposition, but, bro, that's the best proposition we've had in 20 years. You take what you got. This is what we got.
Yeah, I do love, I totally agree with you. I do love not the narrative, but the questioning of, well, if you didn't have Cam Ward, you would be whatever. If you didn't have Johnny Manziel, A&M would have been awful. See, the whole bad part about that, the whole part that I don't understand about that is, you recruit these kids because those kids are special kids. And when you have, no, not like that. That didn't sound right. Those are really, really capable football players.
They're special.
And special. But you recruit them so they're on your team so they can be that guy. So all of the narrative say, well, if you didn't have Cam Ward, you guys would suck. Maybe. But we do. So it doesn't matter. right? I mean, it's like the whole thing of, if the Bulls didn't have Michael Jordan, they would have sucked too. But they had Michael Jordan. So it's just a dumb argument.
We have him. Toast is right.
I
mean,
just
we're going
want
to
to
enjoy
point out that while I'm looking at both of you on the screen, I see two of each of you. Just want to point that out. I see two of each of you right now.
And you're not drunk. I
bet
basically
a
shaved.
lot of us, yeah.
And you're not that drunk. I shaved off basically all of my head. So
I thought I was drunk. Well, I didn't realize what was going on. I was like,
yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. We'll talk about some good things too, because we do need to give some.
We are
praise to the
talking about
offense.
good things. We're talking about how great the offense is.
But special
we
teams
just
too.
don't want it to be.
Listen, Cam Ward and the offense has it hard enough because the defense is playing the role of toe anchor. We don't need a second toe anchor. Special teams. You can't give up. Scoop and I were on a watch along saying the whole time, why do we keep giving them an opportunity for for them to return plays? Just kick it out of the back of the end zone. Andy, we know you got the leg. Just keep kicking, keep kicking, keep kicking, keep kicking. You turn around, you give that up. It was inexcusable, and then you fall victim to that. We talked on a watch along. We'll say it here on the recap show, but that kind of performance gets a special teams coordinator fired midweek, in the NFL. You just can't do that. And you can't do that to Cam in the offense either. You have to shore that up. You cannot have that happen again. And again, University of Miami are like, their offense is so good that they can just absorb the calamity. That's how good they are. You literally have a fumble going in, like you give them a short field, and you give up, a fake punt that ends up leading to points, and you give up a kick return for a touchdown. But University of Miami is such a juggernaut, it just shrugs it off like it's a shruggernaut. That's it. It's just no big deal, and no big deal too. And I'll tell you this right now too. I'll tell you this, and it's not just because Cam's so special, like with his physical set, because that throw to Jacoby George in the back of the end zone, that was like reminiscent week 1 when he did that against Florida. So he makes that play routine now. I've seen him do it more than once. What do you call that? It's routine. But he's so special up here in his demeanor. It's just like he does not care Toast, you were there.
Bro,
how crazy was the
crowd going?
Bro.
The Jacoby George touchdown in the back left of the end zone was insane because he had a wide receiver in the right hand of the field with nobody within 30 yards of him.
Yeah,
but because he was rolling to his left, he never looked back and saw him, and we were losing it. Thank God he hit Jacoby and got the touchdown. But yeah, Lan, take care, guys. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, bro. You got it.
They need to watch this back on YouTube.
Making friends.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a phenomenal play that he made. Yeah, there was a check down on the right side of the field. You're not wrong. I did see that. But he makes that play, and it's like you need him. You need Cam Ward, right? You want safeties who could be erasers, but when they don't make play, then Cam Ward becomes the ultimate eraser.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we have that quarterback now, bro. We haven't had that quarterback since Dorsey. And it's like, you know what? Is this just a team where, obviously we have talent on the defensive side. For some reason, it's not gelling like we would like, but we have a quarterback that is bailing us out every single game. And we have yet to have a situation. And I know that you don't want to say, I want to bail. I want to count on him every game. But, bro, every time his back's been against the wall, he's responded. He has yet to come up 0. And it's like, well, if this is what it is, this is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you can't argue with that. So like I said, let's just enjoy our summer fling. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy every second. We know it's special. Boys, we've been around the block. We could see the future. We could see the present. We could see what's good, what's not good. Ultimately, all good things need to come to an end. And we're just hoping that you're right, Toast, that every time our back's against the wall, because it's going to continuously be put back, our back is going to be against the wall. Cam Ward's going to be the guy that goes ahead and just pushes off that wall. And just, again, think about it. Just the monumental balls he needs to have. Crowd goes nuts. We're up 14. You chime in. You're screaming like, oh, my God, like we're gone. We suck. If we die, I'm going to beat these people's ass at 301. We're phased. You're phased. Everybody's phased. The one guy that's not phased is Cam Ward. And he just comes in. He's like, yeah, and that's it. And that's it. And he goes and does his business. Remarkable plays up and down the field. Consummate general. And we literally, that was a question, Toast, we'd like you to weigh in on. Who's crying more about their defensive coordinator tonight, and who's pitchforking it more against their respective DC, us or Louisville? Because we made the
I'll
case.
tell you what, listen, the Louisville fans, and this is obviously now going to be a thing for the rest of the season, but with the Cam Ward incomplete pass that many thought was a fumble, the overwhelming amount of Louisville fans felt that the ACC refs were showing up for Miami and delivering them what they needed when they needed it. And those of us that are Miami fans are like, really? Because this has never happened in 20 goddamn years. But if you want to believe that, that's fine.
It wasn't even close.
That was the mindset in the stands.
I know they saw that, but it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close to us. I mean, the reason why we said it, because you can see it on the telecast, his ball's spinning. And the fact that he's spinning is because he does this motion with it when he comes forward. There's no way a ball can spin and be a fumble at the same time. That's why we say a quarterback spins it. How do you spin a fumble? You can't spin a fumble. So that wasn't close. Now, the holding on Gelati, that one, that could have been called. That could have been called. So, but
the reality is we haven't gotten called. Listen, ACC refs suck, and they will suck for every team moving forward, whether you're a Louisville fan or an FSU fan or a Boston College fan. If you're watching the game, ACC fans are going to screw your team over because they suck. And so I don't want to hear about it because it all evens out. Every team's getting fucked just as many times as the other team. ACC officials are universally bad across the board. No team's getting an advantage.
Georgia just went up 17-0. If you're listening to this, well, you probably won't listen to this why it's up 16-0. But Georgia just went
17-0.
17-0.
Wow.
Yeah, go Dogs.
If you were listening to BTB, you had them plus 5.5.
True.
I did.
I won Miami -5 today.
There you go.
There you go.
I won Tennessee.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I lost.
I took Tennessee money line.
Nice.
Hey,
That's a big winner.
Good for you.
Yeah, I had a good day today.
Listen,
Right, so we
boys,
talked
we're
about
7-0. It's hate week. We got a 1-6 FSU team coming in that just lost to Manny Diaz. Like, bro, this is the shit. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I mean, the statistical probability of us winning and going 8-0 in the season is sky high.
It's quite high. Look at this.
90%
7-0.
Mm-hmm.
FSU's 1-6.
Wow.
I don't remember there being a disparity of that wide of a gap between these two teams in either direction. And they are every, I tweeted this out because I'm going to repeat myself, every bit of 1-6 bad. That's not a typo. That's not they're that bad.
Bro, I tweeted out today, they are Jordan Travis away from having 7 straight losing seasons.
It's true.
That's very true.
That's true. The guy who couldn't play quarterback
At first.
has saved their guy. Norvell should give Travis, what's his name? Jordan Travis half his money.
Agreed. I remember that was one of the tweets there. It went viral for me because they're like, oh, Jordan Travis is going to go to the NFL. And I was like, what, as a running back? He was particularly bad. And then I kind of had to eat crow a little bit because I'm like, he's been kicking our ass. He's not too bad anymore. But they are woefully bad. Nobody saw this coming.
Bad.
And you got to think about this too. They were top 10 preseason.
They were.
It's not like they were an unranked team and nobody saw this coming. I
Not
mean,
true.
I didn't particularly see
Well,
this.
I don't think anyone was
this.
talking. Well, Roddy Jones did tell us that he thought they were highly overrated.
Yeah.
He was the only one.
Yeah.
Other than us who believe that they were highly overrated.
When you say highly overrated being
not 1-6 overrated.
Yeah, that's like, I don't even know how you even describe that.
No.
How overrated is
4-3.
Yeah,
3
that's
4,
highly
5
overrated.
2.
But when
10,
you're 1-6,
1-6, and
I don't
had
know
a
where the other ones are
chance to
coming.
lose the game that they won to Cal.
Well, and here's the
Cal
thing.
could have beaten them. They were inside the red zone
Imagine that
at the end of the
And if
game.
we beat them on Saturday, we eliminate them from bowl contention.
When we beat them on Saturday. How well do you think they're going to represent at Hard Rock Stadium? How many FSU fans
It's
are
not
actually
going to be
showing up?
nearly as crazy as it usually is. There's no way. They don't want to go deal with that.
No, not in the season that we're having. They can't realistically think that they have a chance with us this year.
It's going to be like a Bethune-Cookman section in the
this
northeast corner of the stadium.
This could be Mario's first ever win versus a Florida State team. And there's no better chance right now than the present.
Hey, that quarterback did play for him. He mentioned that in the postgame.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Flew.
Yeah, so he recruited him.
Yeah.
Shugi.
He was okay. He was solid for them. I mean, he wasn't a Cam
good.
Ward. Not many people are going to have a Cam Ward against us, but I mean, he was solid. Again, running game. Hey, listen, you guys said it. The running game was there. Damian Martinez didn't have a lot of touches, but he had a yeoman's yards per rush average. All of them did. We had that one unfortunate fumble, but the running game showed up too. I thought we were able to run the ball at will today. Let's
bring up this because we haven't talked about this the entire season. Special teams was an absolute abortion today. Between the kickoff return for a touchdown, between the field position they were getting outside of that and other returns, special teams was awful. Like, this is, like, I'm sorry, that's absolutely unacceptable. Like, that's got to be cleaned up, like, this week.
Yeah. That's something that can get cleaned up in a week. I don't know if the defense is going to get cleaned up in a week, but Toast, earlier I said, Cam's got enough bailing out the defense. He doesn't need to bail out the special teams too. So
how about we just kick it into the end zone?
We were saying that the whole watch along.
We were asking that in the stands. Why wasn't he kicking it in the end zone?
He's so good at doing that. And they kept doing it. That's why I'm like, at that point, I'm going to my special teams coach, and I'm kicking him in the balls. I'm like, anytime you don't kick it out of the end zone, I'm kicking you in the balls. You make sure he kicks it out. He's got the leg. We've seen it all year. I do want
to know if the weather played a factor at all. I mean, beautiful day, but it was cold. Right? I mean,
but it wasn't windy.
65.
The ball's supposed to be lighter. It's supposed to take off more in the cold air.
No, it's harder.
The ball's harder?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still
don't get as much
I will
compression.
say, Scoop, their kicker had zero issue kicking it out of the end zone, and Andy did. So that leads me to believe there was an Andy issue.
Is he hurt?
Don't ask me.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
But did we intentionally just kick it to the goal line? Because it was pretty consistent.
It's fantastic.
And if we want to talk about penalties that were missed on the 100-yard kickoff return, the first guy down got blocked in the back. I mean, he got pushed
100%,
into the end zone.
100%. You're absolutely correct. Yes.
So, and I posted it on the student of the game too. So on the touchdown yes, he missed an open guy, but on that one touchdown too that Cam Ward had, there was a hands to the face from the defense, and they literally 20 yards downfield basically tackled Xavier Restrepo and didn't call it. And then when the last touchdown they had, the very, very, very last touchdown that Louisville had, and Kiko's a little late in foot speed to come over and catch the guy, their tight end literally jumps back to tackle. Like the same pick play that we got called for, offensive pass interference, first play, our first touchdown I got way back. He jumped back. You got to check out student of the game this week. He jumped backwards to try to tackle Kiko. The only reason why he didn't get penalized because he didn't hit him hard enough. He missed. He glanced off him. But still, he jumped back to tackle our guy. No call. That was a lot more hands-on than what we had earlier, and especially against Cal. So, yeah, absolutely. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. ACC officials are terrible. They're whack. But I think that's all of college football. Until they have some guys, this is their side job, right? Nobody's a paid ACC, maybe some review guys and stuff like that, and that's really what their full-time job is. But the NFL went to that, right? They all the NFL referees, that's their full-time job now. They don't have side job. College, these are all their side jobs. So what do you expect? It's a part-timer. And when you have part-time referees, you're going to have part-time results. Part-time results, baby.
Part-time results, eh?
Rose dropped like 9 show titles in this one.
I know. We don't have any show titles.
The Shruggernaut is my favorite.
The Shruggernaut.
The Shruggernaut is my all-time favorite.
Just shrug it off. Shrug it off. I don't know. OBB, let's go. Proud of us. We put into work today. We put into work. Toast is on location. Jenners is pulling overtime. I got a student of the game out. Scoop is already tired. It's like this is the most he's spoken in. I don't think I've ever heard him speak this much. He was on a watch along too. So plenty of content on YouTube. If you have not, please follow us on YouTube. Click, subscribe, hit that little bell, whatever those YouTubers say. I guess we're saying it too. Just do this and thank you. But
yeah, we had a great attendance on the watch along. That was a lot of fun. Appreciate that. It's a little bit getting used to that. It's very different. But I think we had a good time.
All right. I am going back into bottleshopandtastingroom.com. If you ever come to Louisville and you need your bottles of bourbon shipped home, like the 12-year-old Evan Williams I got that was $150, boom, these are the people that get it done. I got to go get more drunk. Listen, we're 7-0, 8 week coming up. I love both of you guys. You finish this bad boy up. I got to go back in and keep on drinking. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Love you, dude. Be safe.
Be safe. Have a safe trip. Love you too, bud. That student of the game was bad.
I tweeted it out.
There was no way you had the opportunity to watch it. Literally 2 seconds before we went on the show.
I
got lucky
clips as they go out.
Yeah.
I haven't watched anything. I did tweet it out, so I'm gonna go back in the house and take some time and turn it on.
I don't want to feel bad because film is film, and I'm the type of individuals. And I have young athletes, right? And I've had to tell them a line or two over the years and say, listen, I am not your enemy for I tell you the truth, right? I'm not your enemy. So sometimes you are the reason why we lost today. And I've said, you're the reason why we won today, or we've had to get better at this. And we need to improve at that. You're great at that. You're like constant. We have some issues.
Defensively, we have a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's different though. It's different. It's different. When I was like, oh. And honestly, the micro expressions. So one of the things that I like to do sometimes is just like, look, there was a couple plays in the secondary when you look at the expressions of the coaches and the players on the sidelines, they know it too. Like the expressions when they
you're saying it's a personnel deficiency.
I am saying more often than not when I see some things and the ACC is smart enough to how to expose those guys that are deficient and the ways that they're deficient, and they found ways. So when you see the film finding the same guy over and over and over, I'm not surprised because I believe they're doing it on purpose. Absolutely. If you think about it, and we said this, they're not attacking us on the perimeters in our secondary. They're not attacking our corners. DPJ, when do you hear that guy at all? He's not there. You don't hear him. They're hitting the middle of the field. It's a certain safety group. It's maybe both, maybe one in particular. It's isolating a linebacker. He's just it. And you know what, Scoop, too? Because, buddy, like our offense is a very power-driven offense, right? We had some really good runs. Our offensive line could be very strong at the point of attack. They're big dudes. So, like, our Mike, he's a big dude. He can absorb those hits and he can dish it out. But today, like if he's trying to be one-on-one on that running back that you had, he's got no choice. He's got no chance.
Yeah, there's no chance there. Yeah.
He's got no chance. So it was
it's like Sean Spence on CJ Spiller.
Yeah, except, Maui Noah is too proud to come up limping with a cramp. Silly cramps.
It was a good wheel route.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good wheel route. I mean, it was what it was. But I mean, here we are. But I'm gonna say, when we log off this, I mean, Toast is kind of right. I mean, we can sit there and complain about the defense because that just seems like the low hanging fruit. But let's just enjoy Cam Ward. I mean, you're right. You might have made the the comment of the day, and I was like, well, this. You're like, well, it's the defense that's basically propping up Cam's, Heisman chances. I said the defense is going to keep Cam from having a Heisman. You're like, it's the defense is going to cause it. And I got it because it's like, yeah, you're right. The more points they give up, the more they put his back in the wall. You just see how special this kid is. If you had a dominant defense, and a running game, you wouldn't be a Heisman. So for him to make this work, yeah, the defense is kind of propping him up a little bit with their lack of play.
Well, look, the Canes escape another on the road nail biter, right? So it's you're not doing this at home, right? This is on the road. These are tough games, and there's a lot of people that line was close. It was close for a reason. We all picked it to be a very close game, and so you're not surprised. You're surprised a bit by how poorly your eyes tell you the defense looks. I think that's what you're surprised about. Not that they, gave up the points. We kind of expected to give up the points. So it's kind of weird, right? It kind of doesn't make any sense. but they
And it's
just
college
look
football.
out of. They look. They do. It is, dude. It is. It's
Offense
tough
driven.
to win. It's tough to win on the road. It's tough to win in the conference. It's tough to win in the conference on the road. Like, all these teams can play. That's what the NIL has done. That's the parity of college football. Everybody can play. Tennessee, who loses to Arkansas, right? And then barely beats Florida. Florida's dog doo-doo. And then Tennessee, who gets shut out in the first half for the third week in a row. Tennessee with Nico. Third week in a row, they're shut out for the first time. They go out and they beat Bama today. So it's really tough to
And
win.
Florida's up 13-6 on Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky, who beat Bama as well. It's really tough to win consistently
Kentucky
in this game.
Vanderbilt.
Vandy. Well, Vandy beat Alabama. Who Kentucky beat though?
Well, no, Vanderbilt and now
Kentucky
Tennessee.
won a big game. Who did Kentucky win?
I'm sure they won
Oh,
some.
Kentucky beat somebody.
Kentucky beat somebody.
They sure did. I can't remember who, but you're right.
It wasn't Alabama. They played Georgia close, and then they pull it. And Georgia and
They
Kentucky
did,
should've
but then they
that
won
game.
the next week.
Yeah, but it wasn't Alabama. Alabama's got 2 losses.
Was it Tennessee?
Could have been.
Kentucky beat Tennessee, I think.
Okay.
Kentucky beat Ole Miss.
Kentucky beat Ole Miss.
Number 19,
See?
Ole Miss beat them 2017. And then
Yeah,
lost to
Phil, that's
Vanderbilt
right,
the next week.
Right.
Yeah. Vandy's a good team. And remember, Vandy beat Virginia Tech. And I'm telling you, as soon as I saw that film, I'm like, Virginia Tech. And they were, Miami didn't play anybody. They're not ranked. Virginia Tech's a damn good team. Virginia Tech. Louisville's a damn good team, too. I mean, they're not a bad team whatsoever. So these are just teams you just don't get the benefit of them being ranked.
And look at like, for the sake of argument, the game that's on right now while we're taping this, the University of Georgia. Right?
Yeah.
Look terrible the first half against Alabama. Found a way to scrap back into that game. Still lost it. Struggled like hell against Mississippi State. And now they're beating the crap out of Texas in Texas. 20-0 at the moment.
I mean,
it's a weird game.
They're becoming more and more like the NFL. When it comes any given Sunday, any team can beat any team.
Mm-hmm.
There's never a gimme, and the college football is leaning towards that half of it's parity, man. Any of these teams can beat anybody.
The only thing that's a little tricky this year for the University of Miami, Miami's 7-0 for the first time since that Mark Richt year, 2017. But there's a lot of good ACC records when you look around the ACC right now that you didn't anticipate. Who saw SMU only having 1 loss?
SMU
right, Clemson looked so bad against Georgia, 34-3, but now that's the only loss that they had, so they look like they're regaining their footing. Duke only has 1 loss. Pitt's good this year. I mean, you're looking around. You got some impressive records in the ACC right now. You have a bunch of 1-loss teams. So even though you're at 7 games, we are 7-0, and I don't think anybody picked us to be 7-1 at this or 7-0 at this point. I think Toastad is losing at Louisville. This was maybe his first loss that we had. I had us at Florida. I had us at USF. After 7 games, we all thought we were going to be 6-1. All right, we're 7-0, and I'm like, wow, that's great. But we should have like a stranglehold on the ACC right now.
All right, so here you go. Close. Ready? Yeah. Clemson 6-1, Miami 7-0, Pitt is 6-0, SMU's 5-1, Duke is 6-1, Syracuse is 5-1.
Yeah,
all sitting right up atop the conference.
And Duke only
and then
lost.
It drops off to Vatek, who's 4-3.
Duke's only lost to Georgia Tech,
who lost today, but they didn't have Haynes King. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, big guy.
But then the next grouping, 4-3, Virginia Tech's 4-3, Georgia Tech's 5-3, Virginia's 4-3, Louisville's 4-3, Boston College is 4-3.
So highly.
So the next tier down is all.
Yeah, and it's the Atlantic Cannibalist Conference. We Cannibalism Conference. We've said it for years and years and years. Some good coaches on here. They do what they need to do. So happy though. I mean, it's still a dub. We got some work to do.
7-0.
7-0 with a really strong chance to be 8-0. To be a really strong chance to be 8-0.
And
who would have thought?
Team
Jenners, can you look up real quick because you just looked up
team.
those teams? Can you look up to see who Duke's playing this week, or are they on a bye? Are they coming off a bye playing us, or do they actually play again this week?
Checking.
All right.
Checking. Duke.
Their next game is against Maine on November 4th, so they do have a
So
bye.
they're gonna come in.
They do have a bye.
They do have a bye.
Yeah, they're playing Maine. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, they do have a Maine, and they are playing Maine next, but we're calling it
Yes.
a strategic
Yes,
bye.
correct.
All right. So they're going to come in 7-1. Miami's going to come in 8-0.
Oh, no, hold on. Wait a minute.
second.
No, this is
no,
the
no, no. They
basketball
have
schedule.
SMU next week.
It pulled up the basketball schedule. I typed Duke's schedule, and it gave me the basketball
They
schedule.
have SMU next week.
Yeah,
Next
do.
week. All right. So now that game is for
That'll be interesting.
There you go. SMU and then us.
So that's not a
And
pushover game.
that game's at Duke.
All right. So
SMU up 21-0 right now.
Listen, familiarity there too, because Manny Diaz was calling plays against Rhett Lashley in practice every day. And that last year, Manny Diaz took back over the defense from Blake Baker, and Rhett Lashley was his offensive coordinator. So it's not like he's a stranger. So those guys are going to have a little bit of a war with each other. They know exactly who each other are. So let them beat themselves up. They got the harder. Who would have thought this? Listen. Oh my goodness.
Crazy, man.
Who would have thought the week before we played Florida State, right? We're playing Florida State, and then we play Duke, that Duke would have the harder matchup playing against SMU the week before they play us, and we have to play Florida State. They have the harder matchup playing SMU.
SMU beat Florida State by 30.
And they beat a good Louisville team too by the same score. Louisville,
Touchdown.
SMU can score. I would be scared and shocked to see how many points SMU's offense would put against our defense.
Luckily, we don't have to play them.
Well, that you think.
Yet.
Yet.
They're not currently on the schedule.
They could, and
Schedule.
I believe they might have to play Clemson. I think they're probably on that side. I haven't played Clemson yet. I don't know how the remainder of their schedule looks like, but
They have Duke, Pitt, Boston College, Virginia, and Cal.
Oh, so they don't have to play Clemson, so they didn't pull that card. So they have that's not impossible for them. That is not impossible for them. Could you imagine that? I don't even want to say it.
I don't want to bring it up.
But they hung 66 on TCU, 42 on Florida State, and 34 on Louisville.
They have a good offense too. Now
They
that
score.
I think they could score with anybody. I still think we have a better offense, but I've always been a big Rhett Lashley fan. Now you know why. So
They beat Florida State 42-16
And that probably wasn't even
in Tallahassee.
that close.
Look, both their backup quarterbacks are awful.
we need to have a game where we don't have this cardiac canes. We need at least a break.
Hey, we got Florida State coming to town. We got it.
I know.
It's right on time.
We after the last 3 weeks that we have, we're literally going to have people calling 911. Baby aspirin. Miami Hurricanes need to be sponsored by Baby aspirin.
Sponsored by Bayer Low Dose this week.
Yeah, like they needed any more money, but then they would probably be smart for us.
All
right. Well, we got another win. Canes are 7-0. We'll be back.
Tuesday or Wednesday, one of them.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
We should get Danny Cannell on.
Oh my God, no.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Wednesday. Maybe one of those two. We'll let you know on Twitter, on X. Thanks again for joining us on the watch along. That was awesome. We appreciate the company. And anything else you guys have to say before we get on out of here?
No, you got plenty of content this weekend from the OBB. You can go ahead and watch our reactions to the game if you want to relive those moments.
Sure.
Obviously, pay attention to Student of the Game. That is up live. And then tomorrow when this drops on YouTube and you're watching this or you're listening on a podcast, just watch along again.
It'll be fun.
All right.
All right. Do I need to do Toast's part?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
As always, go Canes!
Yo!
Bange.